There's a neighborhood in Bellevue where horses outnumber condos, and you're still about 10 minutes from some of the highest paying tech jobs in the country. Many relocation buyers never look at it, and that's part of why people who do find it end up staying. After 16 years helping families move here, today I'm taking you inside one of the most overlooked luxury pockets on the entire east side. Turn off one of the main roads into Bridle Trails and it barely feels like the east side anymore. The roads get quieter, the whole pace changes. You might even see a horse before you see another car. And that's not random here, it is intentional. Bridle Trails sits in Northeast Bellevue right along the Kirkland and Redmond border. Right in the middle of the neighborhood, you've got Bridle Trails State Park. Nearly 500 acres of protected forest with 28 miles of trails for hikers and equestrians, sitting in one of the most expensive metro areas on the West Coast. But what makes this neighborhood different are the tree rules. Bellevue has strict regulations here. Homeowners have to preserve a certain number of trees on their property. Permits are required to remove major trees, and if trees come down, replacements have to go back in. So the neighborhood still looks the way it did decades ago, and that is rare on the east side. You've also got winding roads, giant fir trees, homes tucked far back from the street, and large lots that are hard to find almost anywhere this close to Bellevue. Some properties are half an acre or bigger, and there's still a real equestrian community here that's been around since the 1930s. That is what makes Bridle Trails so unique. It feels rural, but you're minutes from downtown Bellevue. That's the whole paradox of this neighborhood, and this is why people move here tend to stay. So stick around for the pricing part later, because once you see what buyers get here compared to West Bellevue, the whole land value thing starts looking very different. Now you need to learn about where Bridle Trails sits geographically because the commute numbers are surprising. But before we get to that, if you're relocating to the east side and looking at neighborhoods in this price range, reach out. The best opportunities in places like Bridle Trails don't always show up the way you'd expect online. I can help you understand what's available and where to focus. My contact info is down below. All right, let's keep going. Bridle Trails is about 5 to 10 minutes to downtown Bellevue and Bellevue Square, about 10 minutes to Google's campus in Kirkland, and about 10 to 15 minutes to Microsoft's main campus in Redmond. So think about what that means. You get this wooded, private, almost rural feeling while still being minutes from some of the biggest tech employers in the country. That is a hard combination to find out there. Now transit has gotten better too. The East Link 2 line fully opened in 2026, connecting Bellevue into the regional rail network with direct access toward downtown Seattle. And if you're driving, Seattle is about 20 to 30 minutes away depending on traffic. Plus you've got quick access to both I-405 and State Route 520. You can get to most major east side employers without dealing with some of the brutal commute patterns buyers run into in other parts of the region. So that is the Bridle Trails setup, a commuter neighborhood disguised as a nature retreat. But if this place checks this many boxes, why don't more buyers know about it? You'd think a neighborhood like this would be impossible to miss, but there are really 3 reasons buyers never find it, and understanding those reasons is what separates the people who discover Bridle Trails from the people who scroll right past it. First, the address situation throws people off. Some homes have a Bellevue address, some have a Kirkland address, so buyers searching by zip code or city online can miss half the neighborhood by accident. Second, this place was built to stay quiet. There aren't commercial strips running through it, no major roads cutting across the neighborhood, no signs telling you, hey, come explore this area. People hear about Bridle Trails from someone who already knows the east side well. That is how it happens. Now third, the price point creates this weird perception gap. Homes here are mostly in the 2 million plus range, so relocation websites don't treat it like some hidden gem neighborhood. Buyers searching for best value or up and coming areas never see it. So yeah, Bridle Trails isn't cheap, but that's not the point. The point is that buyers looking for acreage, privacy, mature trees, strong schools, and a 10-minute commute to major tech campuses often don't even know this option exists. So if you're relocating for a tech job on the east side and this is your first time hearing about Bridle Trails, you're already ahead of most buyers searching for the exact same thing. Now let's see if you like the day by day in this area. A Saturday morning here looks different. Coffee on the back deck, trees blocking out the neighbors, and a trail through the forest sitting right behind the house. A few hours later, someone's riding horses through the park. By dinner, you're about 10 minutes from some of the best restaurants in Bellevue or Kirkland. That is normal life here. That's the crazy part. The The homes match that lifestyle too. You've got older mid-century ranch homes sitting on huge wooded lots right next to custom-built estates with barns, paddocks, and horse facilities that feel more rural Washington than Bellevue. Some lots are around 10,000 square feet, others stretch across multiple acres, but what ties the whole neighborhood together is the tree canopy. Now, the equestrian side of this neighborhood is not some kind of branding, it's pretty much real. Bridle Trails is one of the few places on the east side where horses are still allowed on residential properties, and hundreds of homes in the area still have stable horses today. The park at the center of the neighborhood has history too. Bridle Trails State Park dates back to 1932 and was the first park west of the Mississippi designed specifically for equestrian use. You've still got riding arenas and horse shows happening there through the Lake Washington Saddle Club, but there isn't another east side neighborhood that combines all of this the same way. And yes, the pricing reflects it. Bridle Trails is not an entry-level market. Most single-family homes are trading well above the $2 million mark, and that's been consistent across the neighborhood for a while now. If you're trying to get in at the lower end, you're usually looking at older original homes in the mid to high $1 millions that may need updates. And the thing about Bridle Trails is that these opportunities don't show up very often, so when they do, buyers move fast. Once you get into the middle of the market, you're talking remodeled homes on larger wooded lots, mostly somewhere from the high $1 millions at a minimum into the mid $2 millions, depending on the land, privacy, and condition. At the top end, custom builds, estate properties, and equestrian setups can climb into the 2.5 to 3.5 million range, and well beyond that for custom homes. Now, compared to West Bellevue, buyers here are getting more land for the money. Bigger lots, more privacy, mature trees, and space that's almost impossible to find this close to Bellevue's tech area. So if your goal is land, privacy, and a wooded setting within minutes of major employers like Microsoft, Google, and Meta, Bridle Trails starts making more sense. Property taxes in King County are still relatively reasonable compared to a lot of major metro areas, generally running around 0.8% of assessed value, but it's still something buyers need to factor into the monthly numbers alongside the purchase price. The real question is whether this specific mix of privacy, land, schools, and location justifies the premium compared to everything else at this level on the east side. For the right buyer, the answer is absolutely yes. Now, let's get into another major reason this neighborhood stays so stable long-term, and that's the school system behind it. The school district story in Bridle Trails is a strong one, and for relocation families, it's one of the biggest reasons this neighborhood ends up on the short list. Most of Bridle Trails feeds into the Bellevue School District, which ranked #1 in Washington State again for 2026. Some of the northern sections fall into the Lake Washington School District, which is also one of the top ranked districts in the state. So either way, families are landing in one of the strongest public school systems in Washington. Now, the same rules that protect the character of Bridle Trails also help protect the value of it long term. The tree protections, the equestrian zoning, the state park in the middle of the neighborhood, all of that is written into the framework of the area. This isn't a neighborhood where a developer can suddenly replace the lot next door with a dense townhome project overnight. In a region that's seen heavy infill and rapid development almost everywhere else, Bridle Trails still has real protection around what the neighborhood can become in the future. That creates a level of stability buyers pay attention to. Now combine that with the east side employment base, Google in Kirkland, Amazon in Bellevue. These job centers continue pulling demand towards this part of the east side year after year. So once you step back and look at the full picture with the lifestyle, the land, the schools, the commute, and the long-term protections, you start to understand why buyers who land here tend to stay here. That being said, let's see if Bridle Trails fits the kind of life you want day to day. So two buyers walk into this market. The first buyer wants trees, larger lots, top schools, and a short commute to the major tech campuses, but they don't want to live in a master plan neighborhood where every house feels the same. They want privacy, character, something that feels different from the rest of the east side. The second buyer wants to walk out the front door and grab coffee, dinner, or drinks without getting in the car. They want energy around them, more urban feel, more activity, more foot traffic. Bridle Trails is built for the first buyer, no question. If you're relocating for a job at Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Meta, or one of the other major east side employers, and privacy is just as important to you as commute time, this neighborhood deserves a serious look. And the nice part is you're still close to everything, so you're not isolated out here. You're just choosing space and quiet over walking to retail from your driveway. Most neighborhoods at this price point try to sell you on what they have. Bridle Trails stands out because of what the regulations protect from ever changing. So if you're searching the east side in this price range and want a real look at what's available before it hits the open market, email me at hello@mwagnerteam.com today. Inventory in Bridle Trails is limited, especially at the lower end of the neighborhood. And if you're still trying to figure out which east side or Seattle area community fits the lifestyle you're after, watch the video linked here next. I break down 4 smaller towns outside the city that buyers keep gravitating towards. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.